myself. Oh no, give me that sound. Oh, I gotta go like Cobain. 8 years to the grave, gone insane. My blood got propane. How you gon' go and throw my name with shame? Already cross-faded, making it to the disco. I hate it, and you know how this goes. You framed it, picture painted in my room. This that real life shit, not on Zoom. Got the scene in it.
Make sure you're subscribed to JerCrispy.
What's up, y'all? It shows most. That's the most. Look back another video. 2011, Derrick Rose could walk on water. Yeah, before he hurt himself. I wish he never hurt himself. Then he would have been straight, man. Dog wouldn't have been. Dog, he's still a dog though, and you know.
It's Game 4 of the 2011 Eastern Conference Finals. The Miami Heat and their newly formed
Dwayne Wade
are facing off against the NBA's #1 seed Chicago Bulls, led by their young 22-year-old superstar. Well, actually, this isn't just any young superstar. This is Derrick Rose, in the midst of one of the most unforgettable seasons of this generation, highlighted by becoming the youngest MVP in the history of the league. And now, he's just 3 wins away from clinching an appearance in the NBA Finals. And entering this Game 4 on the road, down 2-1, he went Super Saiyan. Rose elevated for a monster slam in the first quarter, and back a two-handed rim rocker late in the second to send a jolt through his team. Miami, however, wasn't fazed by the kid's freakish athleticism.
Nah.
But maybe they should, because this is 2011 Derrick Rose.
Ooh. Hey.
What's so exciting about the Dell AI factory with NVIDIA is that they are empowering our engineers.
Hey, as long as he ain't dunked on Dwayne Wade or LeBron James, I don't care who else, or Chris Bosh, then I don't care who else he dunked on. Number 50, he's irrelevant. We don't know that dude.
What kind of expectations do you set for yourself individually going into year 3?
It's high. The way I look at it within myself, why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league? I don't see why.
Why not? Those were the words spoken by Derrick Rose a month before the 2011 season was set to begin, questioning why he can't be the MVP and the best player in the league. The dude clearly had confidence, but I mean, come on. The MVP? Is he crazy? Those were the reactions around that quote, and rightfully so. Rose was entering just his 3rd season in the NBA at 22 years old, an age at which no player has ever won the MVP. Plus, the Bulls' record sat at 500 the past 2 years. To believe that he and his team could take such a leap was delusional, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt. The kid has shown flashes of greatness with his inconceivable athleticism and ability to finish around the rim. In fact, he was awarded the Rookie of the Year and became an All-Star in just his 2nd season.
That's
the
crazy.
signs of a future star were there, but I mean, an MVP at 22? There's no way.
All you had to do is have faith. Showtime.
The belief that Rose would win the MVP was a little comical. I mean, we weren't even sure if this guy was a top 5 point guard in the NBA. But in just his 2nd game of the season, he shut us up. D Rose lit the United Center on fire with a career-high 39 points to go with 6 rebounds and 7 assists. He was clearly confident in himself, and it didn't waver at all through the first month of the season. 24-14 on the Knicks, popped off for 22-13 against a future MVP. He got fire for back-to-back 33-point games, scorched the defending champs for 30, blitzed Phoenix for 35, 12, and 7, and then embarrassed the Kings for 37, 7, and 2. Oh, and then 2 stands for 2 broken ankles. The dude snapped Tyreek Evans' ankle so hard that he kept spinning like a Beyblade after he went down. It was disgusting. Rose was flourishing into the superstar Chicago had been.
That's what I said. I'd rather get dunked, because you can move out the way when you get dunked. But when you get your ankle break, bro, bro, you cannot come back from getting an ankle break. Once you get your ankle broke, bro, there's no way you can come back from that ankle broke, bro. Dead serious. That's everybody know that now. You could dunk and just move out the way. That's something.
For years now. Ever since Jordan retired in 98, there weren't many bright spots as a Bulls fan. But now over a decade later, there was another freak athlete in a Chicago uniform. And it was absolute cinema. D Rose had elevated his game to such a degree that he was actually being considered as the MVP early in the season. Maybe the kid wasn't so crazy after all. However, people were still skeptical that he'd be able to keep up this play throughout the season. But in his mind, there was no doubt that he was among the NBA's elite. He was like a rocket headed to the top, landing just in time for a masterclass against Houston.
Ooh. Damn. Sheesh. Mind you, he did this. This a one-man show. This he ain't got no duo. It's just a one-man show.
Got it back. Joe King. Rose. Big time plays, big time plays. 109 at the buzzer.
Rose solidified his name in the MVP conversation against the Rockets, digging deep into his bag and pulling out 30 points, 7 boards, 11 dimes, 5 steals, and of course, a tough 3 going right at the buzzer to send the game to overtime, where the Bulls got the win. This dude was unreal. The win electrified Chicago as they went 12-2 over their next 14 games, as they launched themselves from 6th to 3rd in the East, headed into the new year, where D Rose hit the gas. He killed Philly for 27-9, poured in 36 on the Celtics,
Dang.
29-5-7 on Detroit,
Damn.
backed up the Heat on Miami for 34 points and 8 assists, including a monster 11-point fourth quarter in a 3-point win. Rose was absolutely scorching the league, with a play style no one had ever seen before. The dude's ability to finish around the rim was a joke. His control in the air and ability to contort his body was inhumane. On top of the fact that his passing was elite, his herky-jerky way of finding lanes to the rim was unheard of. His crossover could seriously be classified as a murder weapon, and we haven't even mentioned his greatest skill. D Rose was a blur in transition. The dude can click it into another gear unlike anyone I can think of. One short speed burst and he was gone. It was like a Ferrari amongst minivans. And what really set him apart is that he can also do this.
Dang.
That's Dang on the left side.
Woo. So wait, what game did he got hurt and it affect him bad as a mug and like Chicago said we don't need you no more. You going to another team.
A 6'3" point guard that can do that was unheard of. Rose's nuclear athleticism made him absolutely electrifying night in and night out, as he was now officially stamped as one of the game's premier players. In February, it was announced that he'd be an all-star starter, so upon hearing the news, D Rose celebrated in a way that only he can.
All-star. That one. Come here, get off me. Let me get that. On you. Oh, that's Tony Parker? Oh, that's Tim Duncan.
Rose completely picked apart the #1 seeded Spurs with a career-high 42 points, including 13 in a clutch fourth quarter to seal their 38th win of the season.
I ain't lying to you though, saying doing that shit as a one-man team, saying it's crazy. That's really like dedication. You the one putting the most joy to the points. All you need these niggas to do is just play the defense. You got the offense support. And I'm surprised team was not trying to clamp this nigga, like get 2 niggas to be on there.
D Rose was cooking headed into the All-Star break, where he returned laser focused on that MVP. In his first game back, Rose lit up the Raptors for 32 and 10 dimes. Unfortunately, it wasn't a loss that got the Bulls fired up. Over the next 12 games, Chicago was blazing with an 11-1 record, including 8 straight wins headed into a matchup against Indiana, where D Rose went berserk for 42 points against Indiana, where D Rose went berserk.
That nigga hit up. Let me get that spin move and about to make the layup. Like, ain't no way.
Yet this unreal performance wasn't another loss. Pouring fuel onto their fire. The Bulls had an encore, going 11-1 over their next 12, which included 6 30-point games from the young superstar. Chicago had now unexpectedly reached the 60-win mark on the season, and many had Derrick Rose as their MVP headed down the final stretch. But nothing was guaranteed just yet. LeBron James and Dwight Howard were also having seasons worthy of the award. Rose had to remove any doubt around his MVP case, and in the 81st game of the season at Madison Square Garden on national television, he did just that. D Rose beat up on the Knicks for 26 points, but he did most of his damage on the Madison Square Garden rims. He took an elevator to throw down the lob in the first quarter, stuffed in a two-hander in the paint like he was Shaq, and for his final act, he soared for an acrobatic reverse slam with his head at the rim. The MVP race was over. Derrick Rose was named the league's most valuable player at 22 years old, becoming the youngest to ever receive the award. At a time where the NBA was stacked with guys like LeBron, Kobe, Dirk, and Wade, it was a 22-year-old Derrick Rose who literally rose above them all. The man lived up to his word, and the playoffs are going to show us what this kid is truly made of.
Right.
To everyone's surprise, MVP D Rose became a reality and headed into the postseason with a target on his back. He was about to evolve into playoff D Rose. In other words, he was out for blood.
Damn.
Collison slips inside. What a recovery. Spins inside.
Oh!
Rose again. Spinning. Floater. Yes. Rose does have it. Noah and Bogut, you don't really need the ball. Allowing that guy to do that kind of stuff. Rose.
In Game 1 against the 8th-seeded Indiana Pacers, Rose cooked up a 39-point, 6-rebound, 6-assist, and 3-block masterpiece, and then damn near one-upped himself in Game 2 with 36, 8, 7, and 2 steals. Playoff D Rose was here, which meant this series was over. The Bulls won Game 3 to go up 3-0, lost Game 4, then closed out the series at home to advance to Round 2. And the Avalanche continued against the Hawks with 24, 5, and 10 in Game 1. But it came.
That's when back then the Hawks didn't even have people back then like that. Besides, what Flight had said, them two dudes. Besides them two dudes that Flight was talking about.
Loss. So Rose said, "Hey, I'll do it again," as he poured in 25, 6, 10, and 2 blocks to tie the series at 1, headed to Atlanta. With Chicago losing home court advantage, this was a crucial Game 3 that can change the entire trajectory of this series. So with high stakes,
try imagining a place where it's always safe and warm. Come in, she said, I'll give you a shelter from.
The MVP came to play, turning the road crowd into his own fans. I'm not even kidding.
Did you see the move by the MVP? Shot selection and goes all the way home.
Floater!
Catch and shoot. Derrick
Get off me.
Rose again. like they're not getting good looks. Derrick Rose, most points he's had in his NBA career, 44 for Rose.
The Atlanta crowd oohed and awed at every move Rose made on his way to a playoff career high 44 points. This guy's ability to find lanes and seemingly speed boost into them to score was, I don't even know, I'm speechless. His career performance gave the Bulls a 2-1 lead, but a Game 4 loss tied the series.
So, like, as we speaking, though, I feel like they should do this in high school, though. Like, whoever, like, do, like, a 4-game 3. Like, I feel like high school ball should end up, like, mid of March. And, like, track should be ending off, like, around during June-ish. Or, like, May, June, like, April to May. That's it. Like, track season should be ending. Basketball should be ending by March, like that, ending of March. That's how I feel like
Chicago. And it was D Rose time once again. He showed the Hawks how to fly with a huge 33-point assist night to go up 3-2, where they closed the series in a blowout win on MVP the road to clinch their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they'll be facing an absolute behemoth.
They end up winning this game or they lost.
This was a dream matchup headed into the playoffs. The Miami Heat's Big Three, led by LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, against the number 1 seed Chicago Bulls in the MVP. It was two titans about to go to war against each other with a trip to the NBA Finals on the line. And in Game 1, D Rose and the Bulls made a statement. The MVP scorched the Heat for 28 points and 6 dimes, blowing the doors off Miami by 21 to take the lead in the series. 3 more wins, and they're finals bound. Game 2, however, wasn't so great. Chicago suffered a double-digit loss at home, and then Miami caught fire in Game 3 to take a commanding 2-1 series lead. Now on the verge of a dreadful 3-1 deficit, the MVP had to show up in Game 4. And he did. Early. D-Rose set the tone as he soared through the air for a one-handed jam halfway through the first quarter. Then he did it again late in the second, flying down the lane, drawing the foul, and punching a two-handed tomahawk to tie the game at 40. And this is right about where we left off, right?
From the field, 17 for 39. What a move by Rose.
Ooh.
Yes, and it counts over Joel Anthony.
Oh my God. 6'3" Derrick Rose completely blows up 6'9" Joel Anthony with a two-handed poster on him.
You 6 foot, you 6 foot, and you got dunked on by a freaking Derrick Rose?
His head, silencing
nigga, ain't no way. I said that could have been me though. That cannot be me.
Dunks you'll ever see. But unfortunately, that'd be the final bright spot for the Bulls. Chicago went on to lose behind a rough 8 of 27 shooting performance from Rose to go down 3-1. And back on home soil in Game 5, we saw the same struggles from the MVP, putting up 25 points and 8 assists on just 8 of 29 from the field. It was bad. But by the grace of God, it's a one-possession game with 15 seconds left. A 3 can save their season. Rose scrambles to get the ball, makes his way to the left wing, throws up a 3, but it's blocked by LeBron. And that's it. An unforgettable season ends in heartbreak for the MVP. But one thing's for sure, this isn't the last time we're gonna hear from this kid. Derrick Rose is the future. He carried his team to a deep playoff run and won the MVP at just 22 years old. 2011 was just a stepping stone. The kid has his entire future in front of him.
Come on now, bro. You ain't had to put that party right there. You ain't had to do that to my dog, bro. Damn, bro. Alright, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow our social media, pop on the screen. We're on the road to 500 and I'm out.